Okay.
Hello.
The computer lady actually got it in this time. We are here. We're all over the place. We are remote, or at least I am, and Dundon is. We are
Oh,
remote.
I'm about as remote as I
Let's
can
see if I
get.
can do it. For anyone that wants to follow along, there you go. It is the lobby at Inner Harbor, where I am at Balticon this weekend for the Baltimore
Nice.
Science Fiction Society convention.
Not to date this episode or anything.
Well,
One
hey,
year ago, I was at the Baltimore Science Fiction Convention calling in.
there you go. So,
I am also actually 60,000 feet under the sea.
so it's been a little bit since we've been here because the real world happens, and this is just a game after all. But now that we're here, let's give a quick recap so that folks remember vaguely, at least, where we were. Um, the Unlucky Bunch. The last time we played, way back in the Wayback Machine, tried to get back into the tomb, only to find out more and more guards. Then, as you were attempting to leave, Thea worked a little magic and created a new drain. So the water feature in that garden is now dry. Dashing away from the tomb, the party headed back to the Gray Hermit and reconnected with Leo the playwright. Leo,
Suffering from some insane writer's block.
yes, Leo is completely mesmerized by the party. And after a little bit of convincing coercion, he takes them to see a friend of his, and his friend is actually a super knowledgeable elf who knew the Weavers but had rejected them. An exceptionally rare thing. He was able to provide the party with a bunch of much needed information. And just at that point, everyone said, "Here we go, here we go, here we go," and started off for the mission that Yadu
After a brief
is.
stop to get shoes.
Yes. That Yadu is in charge of for his path home. So, in the in betweens, Yadu said that he was going to the caravan company to arrange a little bit of transportation. And then everyone was going to head out toward a small village at the intersection, roughly, between the outskirts of Lithian territory, the Azinthian plains, and Thardel. The small village, as you see on screen, is called Bottom Corner.
Pay no attention to the location of the name.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Had to get one on camera. Sorry.
Okay. Now that's going to be every comment.
See, the thing
You
is,
smart
now
ones of fans, yes.
this is mutual psychological trauma bonding. It's okay. It's what we do with the audience.
Well, and our merch store will eventually have bottom corner shirts. So,
Naturally.
And the name will only be up here.
yeah.
Yep.
I was going to say it's going to be right here.
Shirt,
Yeah.
right over a shirt pocket. Yep.
Yeah.
All of any merch that we have is some flavor of shit posting. That's the only way we maintain brand integrity.
Official bread shortage survivor. Yeah.
I
That's
got all the way
best.
to the bakery,
From
but they didn't
Rockville
have
to
any bread.
Lithia.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where we were. I don't remember. I know Yadu had some specifics about the variety, if you will, the type of transport.
Yes, we were going to be doing two big wagons, and then anybody who wants to ride separate from the wagons as flankers can, Anybody that doesn't is in, and we're going to have enough like nondescript sellable shit that we can look like we're trading if we need to. That
Makes
was
sense.
the plan.
Yes.
The closest to traveling incognito as we can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we hand waving my shoe shopping trip?
I believe that's probably going to be for the best, unless you have some. Well, okay. Now I see your point. You. How high are you looking for those shoes to be?
Oh God,
18-inch stripper heels.
hell no!
I can't cast in these.
Not unless I'm sticking them in your eye.
Feeling
Well,
a little
no.
wobbly.
You just have to have levitate on the heels at all times.
Well, so
I
all right.
mean,
Oh.
I guess the question is the shortest distance for it to work.
Tell you what.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun. Let's roll some dice.
Sure.
Give me a 20-sider. Equivalent of investigation, whatever that would be.
Equivalent of investigation,
Which is an actual skill. You nailed it, Eric.
Yes.
Look at
Look
that.
at the big brain on the GM.
You'd think I'd learn.
Nah. You just keep yelling stuff at us and we come up with the translation. It works fine.
You realize you all are going to be part of my my panels on gaming this weekend. How
Oh, yeah.
terrible, how terrible
Oh,
a
very
GM
nice.
I am when it comes to the rules. I don't know.
Rules are
Is it a
just
good story?
suggestions.
Uh-huh.
It's an 8, because of course
yeah.
it is.
There you go. Yeah, you can tell the story of the Six Stone. That'll be good for an audience.
Oh, that'll
boy.
be perfect.
God.
Quit.
Yes, never give your party inconsequential magic items or they will come back to haunt you.
Yes. Yes,
That
indeed.
is the truth. Okay, so an 8, you are struggling to find the right place. It takes you actually an inordinately large amount of time, and it starts to become mildly irritating. Does anybody want to help?
I vote Iadu as the most fashion sensible of us all.
I would second that.
Okay, I guess I'm helping.
Nice. I believe you are an investigator, however, though. Am I not correct in that?
Yes, I can investigate and I will do so.
See, this is why you were voted Iadu.
Yes, my fashion sense. I refuse to change.
Nice.
Yeah, I refuse to change TAMs, but I will change my background. I literally had that on earlier. So I will go out with Elspeth and a 14. Does that help us?
You're going to end up paying more than you want, but you do find a place.
Is not, yeah, money is less important than time. We got to get out of here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Also, some of us are carrying what most people make in like a generation in our pockets as throwaway change. I think we're okay on money for the moment.
Lithia can be a very expensive city. It depends on where you go.
That's true.
And yes, I couldn't pass it up.
Huzzah.
So, you eventually find a place, and what you come across is this little. It's a cobbler shop, but it's sort of been it's pushed to the side. That kind of feeling that, you know, it wanted to be fashionable. It wanted to be in with the in crowd, but the shoes that you see there, all the variations on shoes are just the sort of things you look at and go, why? Who would wear that? And the the particular owner of this place is shorter, let's say, and gets really, really irritated when people make jokes about it. So he actually has a wide selection of shoes that have about a 4 to 6 inch like solid base on them.
Yeah, so
You
not
found
a
the
not a
goth-
heel per se, but an actual platform.
Yeah,
Yeah,
golf
like-
platforms for
shoe.
days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
just irritates the hell out of him, and he's like, finally, someone who understands a good shoe. So
I like to have my options open.
I'm imagining these are either like dwarvish or no, like these have to be like dwarvish fucking platforms. They're like thick. They're like stop a bullet level, like industrial thick platforms.
they're held on with nails.
Full nails. Yeah. We don't need
God.
cobbler's nails. We just put roofing nails in it.
Yeah.
Ah, God.
Framing
Spackle.
nails. Framing nails.
That was the term I was. Yeah.
Gonna drop a 10 penny in there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I can.
We love some industrial shit kickers. It's fine.
they very much clash with most of your outfits. However,
Of course they do.
So do we.
You're gonna have to get grungy.
I was gonna say, well, we'll get a prettier pair later. These
Yeah.
are just your kicking butt boots.
Apparently.
We'll know you're serious. It's like
Elspeth
taking out
kicking
your
butt.
hoop earrings before you pull somebody's hair.
I just picture Elsa trying to kick butt, and like her trying to kick someone's gonna knock her over.
No.
Like the foot's gonna come up, and then Elsa's going over. She's not
Just
gonna.
because it's
The
much
connection
heavier.
might not make it.
because
It's just too heavy for her.
her knee gets caught in her dress.
I'm not going to kick it. I'm going to stomp my foot and cast thunderous, force and just bitch slap them across the room.
Side note, I'll have to dig it up and repost it for everybody later. You just reminded me of the Defend the Pizza story with the lady in the skin tight sheath dress who was trying to kick someone. It was hilarious. It was a wonderful
Oh
visual.
my God.
Side note, you have giant clunky clonks.
Woo! But
The clunker clogs. These things are monstrous, but they do seem to help. You are far away from contact with the ground.
And also looking me in the eyes strangely. Wow, I didn't even know you had eyes.
damn.
How tall is your character?
I'm 6 foot.
Oh, I'm 5'5".
Like I said,
Yeah, I actually am closer to making eye contact with you than ever.
you literally went that high up.
Oh, wait. How tall are you with those boots on?
Call it an extra 5 inches.
Yeah, 5'10".
You are now the same height as Azathan.
Oh
I
dear
don't
God.
even.
Oh,
Hold
that's
on.
going to make that confrontation even better because now you can get your finger in his face without having to elevate.
Or your thumb in his eye.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right, noted.
It's all right. I'm still 5'2". I'm fine.
All right.
You're a tall dwarf, dude.
I'm a very tall dwarf.
Yeah, you could be on the dwarven basketball team.
I am on the dwarf. I am the dwarven.
You are the
basketball.
dwarven basketball team. There we go.
The man
Oh,
is
the
as
first
broad
squad.
as he is tall.
Okay.
Yes.
We have achieved shoe shopping and cart preparation laden with reasonable trade goods, small trinkety kind of things. Yadu, do you mention where it is that you're headed?
Specifically because we were having information sent here that may need to be forwarded to us, yes.
Okay.
But
The
only
thing-
to the guy that's our in.
Okay. The things that are actually in the cart make a ton of sense for trading to the field workers.
Perfect.
So we might actually make some money on this route too.
Because your caravan master is not just sending along placeholder.
Disposable goods. He's sending along something he can make a profit on.
He
He's like,
says, "Oh, hey, they won't die while they're with them right now."
what's that?
I
Yeah.
said, he says, "Oh, they have a better chance of not dying right now with them."
Yeah.
Is it Altus or Hook Hill we're working with right now?
One's
Altus
away,
Hook
and
Hill is still making the
yeah, Hook
Oh,
Hill's
yeah.
still out and about. I believe it was the other guy, not
yeah,
Hook Hill.
Altus is the
Altus.
one stays and mans
Yeah.
the operations.
Yeah. And one thing I
he-
will request of him is a big bag of nuts. Like stuff we can literally eat along the way, nuts.
Hmm.
Okay. Unusual, but done.
We get
Especially-
hungry.
Yeah,
It's
we're also
rations.
rather.
I mean, we literally
Yes.
want our rations to be nuts. That's all.
Don't leave trails of shells.
Oh no. And I'm going to literally, when you all get in the cart, I'm going to point. That's the nut bag. You toss every shell in that. I need that.
Okay.
You got it.
I'm gonna go through like my just as I'm processing through this. I'm going through the druidic repertoire of like, all right, what's the basic level shit? Because he's not. This isn't. What the fuck is going on here?
Roll it and I'll tell you.
Okay. What am I rolling here?
You'd be rolling perception.
Okay. Well, I am glad that perception is one of the things that I'm actually decent at.
We're not
That
crossing
is.
the we're not entering the Azinthian plains, are we? We don't need the Azinthian tall boots.
No,
Okay.
no, you're close, but this is a well taken care of area.
Okay.
But yeah, so not that the combi are not still an issue, because they can be.
Fair.
And actually, it won't be perception, it'll be religion.
Oh, damn. All right, let me
So it'll
change
your...
that. That changes it dramatically.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I think I got religion.
I got an 18 for that.
Okay,
Wait,
well
what do
then,
I talk? I know I definitely have religion. That's my character.
I was going to say, Thea, you might want to get in on this because you're probably going to be the one to spill the beans the fastest.
Sorry, my brain had to catch up that was that's it. That's a Thea thing.
Nope, you're good. And yeah, no, religion is not really Azathan's thing, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
The
I
druid
have
isn't a
a
religious person.
No, he specifically is not.
I have a 22.
All right. So what Thea would know as she's going through her key ring of religious items, she looks down at Abishai's token, which is the same one that's on the palm of my hand, except it's on a token because most people wear it there. Only the most devout actually brand themselves with it. And that makes her recall a religious ritual that clerics of Abishai do where they will take a bag of rocks, whatever, and repeatedly punch it while doing a mantra to strengthen their hands for combat.
Huh.
So that's what I'm getting the nuts for, is literally I don't have my normal
Punching
thing I
bag.
would carry with me, so I'm going to make one. I haven't had one since I lost my tribal name, and I feel like I've come close enough to actually putting my name back together that I want to put some of my standing with my clan back together. So I'm just rebuilding my religious fetish that I hadn't carried with me in a long time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a road to redemption thing. So
I dig it. I dig it.
Yay.
You're the
Character
best.
growth.
Around.
yes, literally 80s
No
exercise
one gonna ever
montage.
keep you
Yes,
down.
that's literally what it is. So, and that way we eat along the way.
Very
In
nice.
addition to our occasional bits of hunting and whatnot. Yes.
Yeah,
Yadu training montage.
absolutely.
Nice.
It's gonna look a lot like Rocky 4, where he's lifting up the cart and he's the one
Yep.
pulling the cart.
Yes.
Giving the horses a break.
Yep.
One horse on his shoulders.
Very, very awkward horse going, what am I doing up here? Nay! Nay! Nay means nay!
By the end, the horse is just like, oh, you again.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I could keep
That's-
derailing this, but we should probably keep going.
That's been recorded for prosperity.
Yeah.
Posterity, whichever. Fuck 'em.
Posterity.
Posterity. Oh well, I mean
Posterior.
that was a pretty good joke. Who said prosperity can't
there was
come from a bad
posteriors
joke?
involved.
I was gonna make a posterior joke as a way to get him to remember, but you kind of beat me to it.
And this is why it's taken us years to get across the country.
Hey.
Something. It's not about the trip. It's not about the destination. It's the journey or whatever.
It's the journey.
You are
Something,
killing
something,
the wisdom
something
tonight.
journeys.
Talk about non-religious.
Oh my
something
God.
saying, I don't know.
Something magic.
Yeah,
missile.
it's like my old master used to say, something, 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 and then you'll hate me. Okay. Could you be less vague?
No.
No.
Oh. Okay. Awesome. We're going to revisit this someday. Hopefully we'll continue to laugh as much as we do now. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Off you go on the road. It's not a super lengthy trip, nor is it a particularly difficult trip. It's a few days out. The biggest thing about it is there seems to be a certain feeling, an atmosphere, if you will, about the travel, because word has gotten out. Word is getting around that troops from the Red Lady have moved and are headed across the Azinthian plains.
That's
And
not good.
Oops.
so you all are headed to essentially a corner where a bunch of this sort of thing has the potential to come together. Thardelians, Azinthians, and Lithians all trade along this route. This is all part of what has helped Lithia become so powerful, because they hold the port. Basically, Thardel doesn't have a port, or at least not an effective one.
We have no warm water port upon the sea.
So there's this sort of guarded feel to a lot of the folks that you encounter. It is a relatively busy route. Trade route along here is solid still, and that in and of itself is valuable information for when you get back. But bottom corner is actually named that because it is essentially almost like a peninsula offshoot from the Azinthian plains, but it is a little area that has a huge number of field workers that they send. This is their field workers go out. Field workers gather, grains, hay, whatever it is that they're growing, bring it back here, trade it up to the mountains where they can't grow certain things as well. This is part of their function here.
And I'll start wearing my Thardelian leather satchel that I have here. I'll start wearing it out so that they can see the symbol of the Red Lady on it, since we're in a territory where that would be respected.
Okay. As you roll in, because you do eventually make it, there's no hassles along the way. There's no ambushes it's very uneventful. And anyone with half a clue took one look at your group and went, no, highway robbery is not going to work out right there. So you eventually roll into bottom corner. There's only one street's a strong word. There's one dirt path in. As you can see, it comes from the top left of the screen. There are a number of trees here, which essentially to the north and to the west, fields, as far as you can see. So the homes and the trees that are here are actually vaguely an exception, if you will, to what you see for a lot of the Xinthian area out here. The path leads directly to what looks like a temple in essentially a town square.
And as soon as I
See
get a
what
look at that, I
treasures we
turn to
can
Thea
find.
and I say, what religion are we dealing with? Since she's our Rolodex to religion.
Boop, 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 boop.
Um,
Is that going to be an investigation first to see what we
Religion,
see,
probably.
or religion?
let me do this. So,
That is a. Hold on. I need to get my.
well,
Bring it
that
back
doesn't
up.
look good from here. That might need to be fatter. Boop.
19.
As far as you can tell, let's do this. There, that's better. This is the building that we're talking about.
Yep.
And as far as you can tell, this is either your home or it's designed to be a general purpose temple because it looks like one of three of the largest structures in town.
Can I ask if there's any visible water sources?
Sure, you can ask. No, actually, as you're coming in, you don't actually see, like normally you would see a well, you'd see it out exposed somewhere,
Yeah,
but you don't see that here. It's not exposed.
because there's a lot of land for growing, but
Not seeing how it's irrigated, yeah.
yeah,
You don't see it exposed here.
it's only a model.
Now,
Or
while
could be hidden by one of the buildings.
we're like wandering our way in, if people are guarded against us, are there anyone that's kind of like sneaking behind us or anything that Thea noticed, or that it's taking kind of exceptional notice to us as we're wandering through? And that would be a. Where's my birth? Why'd I even go 24?
Wow, this drawing thing is just not doing for me. Right? All right, that big ugly mark that I just made.
Yeah,
So that over there looks like a very well-trodden path. That place looks worn, but also looks like it's very busy. You all have rolled in basically midday-ish. Things are really, really quiet. There's not a lot of people around. As a matter of fact, the few straggler people, Thea, that you notice sort of give you the side eye and don't hang out, don't come to see you. It's not there's not like people rushing to see like, oh, who's coming into town. People are not coming near you.
we're
Are they
like
more
two-
like minding their own business, or like, oh, someone else is going to intercept them?
More like, gee whiz, we don't want to be involved with that.
Okay, yeah, not my monkey, not my circus kind of thing. Yeah.
we're two large wagons full of people plus.
Yep.
Plus trading gear, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah,
as you roll in,
Huh.
you come straight down the street. The building that I put the ugly mark in front of, like I said, looks like a place that is used a lot, but is currently not. There's nobody's going in and out. What you do see is as you come around the bend here just a little bit into this area of the square. This building right here has a sign hanging out in front of it that it is an inn.
I don't see where you made that. Where's that second mark?
I need a new color.
Bottom left of the church.
Let's try this
So
one.
it's in-
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah, we
sorry.
got it.
Did not see that real
yeah,
quick.
Yeah, laser pointer works better, so that's the inn.
Oh, okay. Now I'm tracking with you. Thank you.
Sorry.
I was not seeing that.
I'm struggling on this machine. My remote rig is old, and it is dragging along. It took me so long just to like get that to do that. Okay, so but it is essentially it forms a little straight ahead relationship, if you will, with this temple, or what you presume is a temple. Hard to say.
And we've come up on it. Doesn't seem to have any predominant symbols, etc. So it could be a general purpose. Everybody that worships here. Whoever happens to be the priest du jour shows up. Okay.
That is the hall of
Are we
worship.
gonna be our own little evangelist? We got all the symbols. We could even come up. I could even share some. You could all have your own. Imagine the blessings we could spread through our own little versions.
Okay. Meanwhile, while I'm keeping Thea from moving, Azathan and Elspeth, can you go in and get us rooms
Yes.
and find out if that big building, and I point back to the gray building that's offset, and find out, is that where we go to actually offload our wares and get ready to sell?
Yeah.
Or if not, then where is?
Yeah.
Sure, we can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I suppose I can do that as then. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Thea and I are going to have a little discussion about religion.
Now,
Does
be
Thea need a
careful.
chaperone so you don't discuss
Do I need to take
religion with
notes?
her hard?
No, I need a chaperone so that I don't throttle her for what she's suggesting we do.
Okay.
Which
She's
is why
playing-
Dundon is
Yeah, she's
Da-
playing
group
around with the
dad.
Rolodex of religion again, and I don't need that at this point.
Yeah.
Hey now,
Don't dream, it's over.
Do I need to roll my dice?
Uh,
she's the leader of the Church of Luck at this point.
yeah,
Yeah.
at this point, you just put out the words that I was worried about. When she starts
Yeah.
talking about having
Yes.
religious observances here, it would turn into a floating crap game.
That is such a weird setup for that's such a charlatan move. Like, yeah, we're gonna introduce this religion. It just happens to be all about gambling, and I'm really good at cheating and making money. So I don't look into the connections there. Fuck, we're gonna get kicked out of this
Blessing.
town too.
Yeah, the story writes itself. Now, please go
We-
get us a room before I have to throttle Thea.
Yeah,
We'll
all right.
share our blessings.
All
great.
I will say is mortal bodies make good fertilizer.
And as 3 feet's better than 6 feet, because then you start getting into the dead layer of dirt, and then microbacteria can't do its thing. 3 feet's better, because then you actually get lush gardens out of it, so it's more useful.
Do we,
Yes.
do we
But I guess
see
it does
anything
tell you that
kind of-
it's more lush. So I mean, there's fertilizer in like a body shape. So I mean, spread it out. Do it when you have a crowd.
As
Okay,
the man
room it
with the
is.
corpse garden, I'm going inside.
I was about to say, I'm sending you two inside so this conversation ends.
Fun fact with Thea.
What?
Sorry, I don't know where that tangent came out of.
Yeah. By the
I
way, I've
didn't know
deci-
any of that you said, so that's good
Yeah.
to know.
by the way, I've decided your new multi-class is actually you are a multi-classed warlock.
Oh my god.
I like that.
So, as the Thed and Elspeth go inside the inn,
Yes.
I would like to vibe check the inn because the last time we were in this scenario, people tried to sneak into our room and I had to be a bear. So
I blasted a person into a wall. That's right.
You're not
Yeah.
here. Shut up.
So this place seems
that's not a good sign.
a lot similar in its feel to how I was describing. There's this vague underlying tension
Mm-hmm.
is just a feeling. It's just a feeling that you get and you can't place it.
Mm.
But middle of the
Like
afternoon,
everyone.
this place is empty.
Hmm.
The
No,
only
it's
person
just. Sorry, continue.
the only person in here is the barkeeper
Mm-hmm.
at the far back of this big hall. And the rooms are all apparently any rooms, because you're looking at the long shape of this place, any
Mhm.
rooms that would be had, there's a staircase on either side of the bar at the back that go up.
Second floor.
Yep.
And unless you're willing to vault out, you have to go back by the bar, which allows him to control. Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yep.
We're the only ones who are in the wagon, or do we have someone who's actually going to be able to sell this crap for us?
Oh, it's just
Don't-
you guys.
It'll be it'll
Okay.
be us. But we just have to go make sure that's the great places where we offload goods.
Okay.
But so just to reiterate, it is what time about was it?
Mid-afternoon?
Mid-afternoon.
Okay. Because this would be around lunchtime, and most agricultural work would be done by not in actuality, because there's so much work when it comes to agriculture, but generally there's a roughly midday pause because that shit starts early in the morning.
Yeah, but they probably have picnic baskets or something set aside out there.
Yeah, but
Well,
this is a
wagon.
major centralized social hub too. It's weird.
Yeah, they probably
So-
come in to drink here, though.
You would think they'd be in for lunch.
That's what I'm saying.
You guys have missed the lunch crowd.
Okay.
So we're
Little
So they're
out.
off doing
between lunch and
non-field
drunk.
work right now.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, yeah. So
All right.
we'll approach
The afternoon.
Okay.
This guy is probably one of the darkest Azinthians you have ever seen. Which it makes it all the more startling when you see that the ends of his fingers are all white.
Huh.
As he's doing the traditional innkeeper wiping down the glasses, cleaning things up.
It's the same glass. It's his favorite glass.
Could be.
The lucky charm.
No, Thea.
He turns. You also note that his hair is very closely cut, which is generally a fighting man look for Azinthians.
Okay.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. 2 questions. 1, do you have any rooms available?
I do.
And how much? How much do they run a night?
How much you got?
Enough. We have 6
Enough.
people.
Ooh, 6 people.
We have
Big
6.
trade
How
caravan.
long? How long you staying?
A couple days. Call it 3.
Cost you a gold piece for everybody.
Okay. I will reach into my pocket, take out the coins.
Is he overcharging? Can I get the
100%.
sense if he's overcharging?
Most definitely he's overcharging.
He's
give her a roll.
definitely overcharging. He's definitely
Insight.
overcharging. As of that, doesn't give a shit about money.
Yeah, but yeah. Okay.
It can make us a target because now we look wealthy, but also we also look like a group of people who murder people for fun and
11.
profit.
Murder hobos.
Not quite that bad.
Well, no, quite that bad. I
Give
grew
it
up
an
in the last
hour.
couple sessions.
Give it an hour.
We don't kill everybody, just the people who deserve it.
Give it an hour.
Small towns do
Give it
not
2
do well
hours.
in our presence.
To be
They
fair,
start with too many little, like the volume's not there for them to not notice when we're around.
And we've never mastered blend in.
No, you
Just
have
blending.
There is
I'm
no
wearing dark purple with dark purple hair. I don't blend in anywhere.
there is
except
no
the party
community
district.
on this planet that we blend in with.
I blended in the party district of Lithia.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do. I don't.
Correct.
There is no group that we as the collective. So I put the 6 coins on the counter without as much of a second thought. I'll take the rooms.
It was 1 coin for everyone.
It
Yep.
was. And he scoops up all 6 and he's like, anything that you would like.
Uh-huh.
And he actually immediately sets clean glasses up for each of you.
Thanks.
A drink.
You severely overpaid.
I know.
You just pay for like the Ritz Carlton for
I
like
know.
a Super 8 motel.
I'm okay with that. Because again, Azthan doesn't give a shit about money. Because all as far as he's concerned, it buys him 2 things. Research ingredients for his research and peace and quiet. And also the general aesthetic of I'm running around with a group of people who hurt people for fun and living generally tends to be very persuasive for people to leave him the fuck alone.
Do you understand the word discretion?
I do. I don't care. Oh, what? And you thought you were going to be the embodiment of subtlety? Miss Glitz Glam, shut the fuck up. Anyways, so I take the fucking, I have the rooms. We'll be back in a bit. We have stuff to trade. Do we take that to the Gray Barn or no?
Oh, so you're selling things.
Yes, we're a trade caravan.
Well, let me warn you. Number one, it's a good thing you paid for 3 days, because 3 days from now is payday.
And
That's when
okay,
everybody will have money to buy things from you.
good to know. And anything else?
Probably you shouldn't tell the boys how much money you have.
Didn't plan on it.
You shouldn't flash it about.
Because people will try and take it from me.
They tend to be a little rough and tumbly when they're done with work.
Fascinating. I appreciate you telling.
There's a space out front. You can pull off to the one side, down in the corner.
In the bottom corner?
You're not as funny as you think you are.
I don't think I'm funny at all. It's okay.
He thinks he's hilarious.
You could set up there. I would suggest just park your carts, because that's as good as it's going to get.
Noted.
We could string the horses out back if you want.
Appreciate it. I'm sorry, what was your name?
Tip.
Tip.
You know,
Noted.
like what you just did to him.
Yes. Oh,
Yep, our dwarf lost power.
Dundon went poof.
There's nothing holding Iadu back now.
Yes, when Dundon's the voice of reason.
Oh,
Well, he's
And-
back.
he's back. But all right, cool. I will take all that information. I'm gonna look over at Elsbeth. We gotta go let the others know. Come on.
Drinks for everybody when you come in.
Damn right. I already paid for them.
You need it. You've been on the road.
So
Agreed.
essentially, you're saying we should set up about here?
Yeah, like right off to the side.
That's what I was thinking it was too.
Oh, I don't see where you're pointing.
Laser
Uh,
pointer.
They're gonna fucking
Yep,
raid.
we're all kind of pointing in the general place.
Yes.
So basically, the bottom corner of that clear tan area is where we'd be setting up.
Oh, so it's like here or here, right next to it.
Like right. Because this is the building that we're in.
There.
We were in the purple one, so it would be right there. Yeah.
So yeah,
We'll
yeah.
set up at that purple corner.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll pass
Okay.
that information along. 1, 2, 3.
So
I know
you
there are
park
only 5
carts
of
there.
us.
Tip suggests that you may want to bring your things in. Carts will be enough of a pointing out. They'll
Bring all the valuables. Welcome to the purpose of the 6th room.
Yeah. So we have room for 6, 5,
Can
and
I
our
leave
stuff.
some booby traps on the wagon?
Let's not trap the wagon. We'll just put the most violently paranoid person on the wagon.
You?
That's currently like a 3-way tie between myself,
I was just
Yadu,
about to
and
ask
Thea.
who was that for? Who were you thinking? I was not sure.
Differently paranoid. I'm
Listen,
convinced
it's not
everybody's a
paranoia
cultist.
if it's been proven to be
I mean,
true.
as it then, you are kind of Mr. Lightning Strike.
I am. That is true.
And, plants outdoors.
Yes, that is true. I'm still sleeping in my room, but yeah, no, I have to actually double check my spells real quick.
So essentially, I think we set watch like we
Yeah.
normally would, and whoever's on watch is out at the carts, just kind of hanging out.
Yep.
You
Okay.
can watch.
In the daylight hours, it's easy. It's the nighttime hours. We'll do
Yeah,
that
once we
rotation.
start see people congregating, we'll go ahead and just kind of take turns amongst
Ac-
ourselves.
Actually, wait a minute. Practically, it should just be Thea and Azavan because we only need 4 hours of sleep,
Yeah.
and everything else we're just kind of chilling.
And
Yeah,
Thea's
while you
already
guys are
full
while you
rested
guys are
anyways.
eating, Dundon and I theoretically could be giving you the chance to both be in and get fed, and then you'll do the overnight. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our rooms and our drinks are paid for. And if he gives you any guff about it, our drinks are paid for.
Does someone not know how to order a room?
No, he just went
No,
for
he
the all-inclusive
does.
package.
He
I just
pushed
decided
for-
to just pay because I'm not willing to haggle at the moment. My willingness to haggle is at a minimum when I'm just trying to get a bed.
Yes, a merchant who doesn't like to haggle. Oh, this ought to go well.
Listen, I'm not a merchant. I just give a shit about the resources.
True.
Okay. So you manage to secure your belongings. Everybody gets their room. Everybody gets their drinks. By the time you get all this stuff settled down, it is headed towards the end of the day, and that's when you do see and you do note everyone coming back in from the fields. As you get closer to the end of the day, you start to run out. When you run out of daylight, it's like, nope, got to get back to the homestead, get stuff arranged, get the end of the day stuff taken care of. And that's when a huge number of field hands start to come in and start to drink.
I'll pass in.
Everybody give me a perception on that.
Hey, there we go. Them's the numbers.
There we go.
28.
20.
I have perception.
24.
That is a 13.
That's only for you, so.
So
5 years old.
Yadu has his religious fixation right now.
Well, you literally see me with a burlap bag, and I'm literally sitting there just pounding it, and you hear the sound of like cracking knuckles coming from the bag.
So, what most of you notice, Dundon doesn't really pay much attention. He's like, no, this is where people go to drink, and that's what I'm doing. But the rest of you note that the crowd here, for the number of people you saw coming in, coming into the town, this doesn't look like a huge crowd. Like you would think that they maybe would get more, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
So there's another spot.
What's the age group?
What's that?
What's the age group that we're seeing in the bar?
Oh, this is a little bit older. You don't see a lot in the way of young.
Interesting.
How much you want to bet a draft came through?
Yeah.
Maybe. There are some alternatives, but
And we'll figure it out as we go.
Is anyone
Yeah.
going to try to figure it out? Going to ask
Sure.
around?
might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody but me.
Yeah, I have some social graces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my social graces generally make people rat on each other, and that's not what we're looking for here. We're looking to
No.
be friendly like.
Okay, so
Mhm.
along with the crowd looking, to your thinking, just a teeny bit off, you also notice that both Dundon and Yadu get a wide berth. No one wants to go near them.
Interesting.
Ah,
Is this a predominantly human village?
They are predominantly human, but you and Thea get a lot of attention.
Not a lot of women.
Bingo.
Oh, they'll be willing to tell me every little bit of gossip.
Oh, you're going to do the gather information.
Oh dear.
I'd like to try. Given how my dice have
Thea
been,
will
we'll
do an
see.
investigation.
What's that?
Thea will see what she can
Roll it up.
gather.
Is that going to be a
See what you get.
persuasion check?
Sure.
I at least have persuasion.
Let's see. 16 plus 9. 25, right? No. Yes. 25.
18.
Both of you are super successful at having people offer you drinks. The thing is, they all want to offer you the cheap stuff that they're drinking, and you
Oh.
apparently weren't drinking the cheap stuff. The prepaid portion of the program apparently got you an upgrade in terms of drinks. However, you do hear a ton of gossip. Notably, none of them talk about grain shortages because that's kind of all they do. You get all kinds of information about big plans for payday. You hear about various connections of who you should sit with and who you should not sit with and who you should definitely avoid. Tons of information about bad teeth, bad breath, bad habits.
Any
trying to
word
get-
on where the youngsters are?
What's that?
Do they let slip anything about where the younger crowd is?
Do you try to nudge them that way, or does Thea try to nudge them that way?
where are
I
the
wasn't
youths?
even listening. I'm sorry. What?
Well, because this is a largely older crowd,
I
but
got distracted. I got a chat. I was trying to look at it. I'm sorry. I multitasking, not the skill right now.
I think it's-
ADHD takes another one.
I think it's so funny because that would 100% be Elspeth would say something to Thea, and Thea had totally tuned out the dude that she's trying to pump for information because he's got nothing. And she's like, wait, I'm sorry. Who was saying what? Were you saying something?
I mean, yeah, it's very in character.
I 100% thought that was the case. It was like, oh, totally not listening to this dude.
Go with it. I like it.
So the question is,
I'm
are either of you going to attempt to nudge the conversation towards, you're going to try to do
the
this
first
persuasion?
stage is okay, yeah, large news about payday, about who's who in the town, what they're doing. I would try and nudge for like,
What is that
we're a
big gray
traveling group.
building?
Um, what's happening in the area?
So,
Big news.
oh, well, some people don't like it when we talk about it here. So you get a couple of them with that hushed tones, like we don't want them to shh, that drunken shh.
That is so not quiet.
Right. Apparently, what has happened is there's another establishment that has opened up for drinks. Now, the big hall that you guys saw, the other one that's to the sort of top left from where you
Yeah.
are, that's the grain hall. North Grain Hall it doubles as storage and bunkhouse, basically. So that's where like a huge amount of stuff that comes in, and whenever there's shipments to go, that they'll run it straight out of the grain house.
Okay.
So that back there, that's why it looks so worn, is because they're in and out of that all day, every day when it's time for grain shipments or to move stuff. And that's where the majority of the unmarried or unconnected farmhands go. Essentially,
Okay.
the very top of it, the mezzanines down the sides are essentially like a bunkhouse.
So where's this
Okay.
other drinking spot?
Some people make a weird little symbol and don't want to talk to you about it. Other people vaguely point, well, that's over there. That's for the young folk. That stuff over there is a bit out of hand. You probably don't want anything to do with that.
Oh, I've got a trick. Okay. Because this is the older crowd, the fathers, the uncles, right?
Yeah, a little bit, but basically a bunch of people who feel like they are the middle of the road. They're very conservative about things. They're not going to stretch out and try whatever the new thing is.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Lithia.
Oh,
But if someone were to say want to meet a fun young bachelor, is there a name?
Oh, you get a ton of people who are like, "Hey, I'm still a bachelor."
Yes, you are.
Captain Three Tooth over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a reason.
I'm hoping to appeal to that. Oh, I'm a pretty young woman. I have this older son who would absolutely you would love to meet, because they don't need to know that I'm actually a
I'm gonna lean
lesbian.
in. I'm gonna lean in and ask: does this other location sell anything a little bit stronger?
In fact, as long as you don't say anything in front of the bartender, one of the older guys, Dundon, that you're talking to is like, "Oh, yeah, he calls himself a brewmaster." I don't know what he's talking about.
All right.
He experiments with drinks.
Whereabouts is he?
If you have
I mean,
to
just
go,
keeping it quiet. Keeping it quiet.
if you have to go, I wouldn't do it tonight.
All
I'd
right.
wait. Payday is probably the best day, because then you can sort of blend. And then he looks at you, looks down. He's like, or not.
Understood.
I could have sworn you were taller.
Kind of.
Why are the three of you?
Give it an hour.
Southeast, behind the trees,
Gotcha.
the battered bone.
Battered
That
bone.
building.
Thank you kindly.
Telling you, nothing but weird out there.
I'll be
Oh.
cautious.
Essentially, the rest of the evening amounts to a lot of the same. The
Gotcha.
How
longer
new is
it
the new
goes-
place?
What's that?
How new is it?
Um, it's new enough that they're debating between a season or two of how long it's been there, but
So very new.
the folks who run it are apparently decidedly not new. They're an elderly couple who wanted to retire.
Interesting.
Retire from the field or retire from elsewhere to this delightful small town?
Debatable. They never worked the fields around here, but we know they did something. Got money.
Oh,
Got money and weird taste.
Sounds
yeah,
quirky.
I'm sure this isn't gonna have any. There aren't gonna be any real complications in this small fucking bumblefuck town
Not
whatsoever.
at all.
What's the matter? These guys are peak couture.
I'm pretty sure we ran into peak couture when they tried to sell the fish gloves as high fashion. It's
Yeah.
These
Actually,
gents are
Thea's
going to be
still wearing
so
them.
disappointed
Yeah.
if they ever figure out they don't have a shot with Elspeth.
that's okay. They don't need to figure it out,
Yeah.
and it's probably
Thea's
best
just not
that
really
they
paying
don't,
attention.
because God's forbid we run into a group of horny fucking like middle of nowhere bumbles who are disappointed by not being able to get a woman. They call those incels these days. So
Wow.
Wow. You're alienating potential viewers.
good, fuck them.
Yes, our ones of fans just became nuns of fans.
Isn't that your wife though?
Wow. Okay.
Just saying. Just saying.
All right.
We
There's
cater to
that.
all kinds here.
Rather than
yeah.
drawing a line in the viewership, such as it is.
Listen, some lines deserve to be drawn.
Yeah, we like both kinds of music, country and western. So
Right.
DM, when this place starts to get lazy, if you will, people are generally kind of filtering on out.
They are. It doesn't take long.
Yeah,
This-
they
this
get
is one of
that they
those
get their drink on and they go.
sharp peak, get out
Yeah.
because they got to go to work in the morning.
Yeah,
Exactly. I sidle up to Thea and say we should probably check out things at least to know what the building looks like, because I have a feeling tomorrow night we might be drinking at that new place.
Sounds good to me.
So, without saying anything to anybody else, I go into poof mode and try and get out of here unseen.
Okay.
Stealthy.
Stealthy. Give me some rolls.
stealthy half orc in all black.
21.
I got. Hold on. Where's my stealth? Where's stealth? Oh shit, that's a plus 14. Oh hell yeah. That's a 25.
Okay. You actually
That's
managed
low for her.
to duck, dodge, and evade all of the people that were hitting on you.
And suddenly she ain't there.
I'm more exotic. I have purple hair.
Everyone's looking around, and that leaves all of the sharks to circle Elsbeth.
Don't worry, I could kill them all with a single spell if it came to it.
Nice.
Yeah. AoE centered on self, but no damage to self. You can do that. Yeah. I didn't
Actually, I
ask
changed
how
my
big the room.
subclass.
Yeah, I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast fireball.
I actually don't have that ability anymore. I changed my subclass a few
Oh,
sessions
well.
ago.
That's fine.
No,
Wow.
now my thunder wave can be an ice wave or an acid
Nice.
wave or
So Thea and I are going to make our way out to the southeast and use the trees as cover and just get a sense of, we're not trying to peek in windows or anything, just trying to get a sense of this building, make a 360 around it at a distance, see how many entrances we see if there are any outlying buildings, just get a sense of what's out there.
Sure.
Who's there? Who's lingering? Are people lingering in the woods watching? What's
Because
the
we figure their
security
party
like?
might still be going on a little bit because the youngins usually have a little more energy.
Usually they have a little more energy. You don't see this is where the younger crowd goes for sure. You see them wandering in and out through the trees. It's fairly easy to avoid them because they seem to be pretty well drunk.
Nice.
As you push around toward the so you're going to go probably around the top in terms of the map to stay around with the trees. You do
Yep.
see at the back, you do see they have a couple of their own plots that look very well tended with a variety of food crop kind of things, like they're growing their own whatever right there. But you do also see these unusually large tanks out back.
That's what I was curious about. So thank you for getting there, because that was going to be my next question.
Yep.
It's all quench.
Oh, dude, you don't make quench like that, or you don't have a house.
So yeah, so they do have these tanks out there. There is a little like a little mini shed thing with some tools in there, but the tools are basically gardening equipment.
Right.
But other than the tanks, which are quite nice, this place just looks neat, tidy, clean, and that's about it.
So if I put together the numbers of people that showed up at the inn we were at and the number of people that would theoretically show up at this place, am I hitting the right number again? Or is there likely a third place that a third of the population is congregating? Or is it pretty much anybody out at night? Is it one or the other?
One or the other.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. There's not a lot else going on here. Everything else is somebody's house, basically.
Yep.
You do note a bunch of folks check out your carts on the way by. Nobody bothers anything. No one touches anything, but everybody takes note on their way by.
Interesting.
Oh, Thea's just gonna do. I have alarm. I forgot. I thought that would be a good thing to have. So Thea's been just sleeping
Let's
on
save
that.
that for the nighttime.
Well,
Is
yeah,
no
we're getting
death.
towards nighttime. That's the point.
We're in
that's fair.
nighttime. We've done
Yeah.
been chilling.
That's fair, yeah.
So,
Oh shit, we just did magic again. Are we far enough away from brokenness?
We'll find out.
roll a percentage.
Oh, for
God
Son of a
fuck's
bitch.
sake. Aren't you No, you're not grounded. You're wearing the other shoes.
No, I am not grounded right now.
Correct.
What is it? Oh, sorry. 87. What does that give me?
Let's find out.
It works.
Sweet. So I'm gonna do an alarm. That is because it's gonna be a. Let's see. Oh, raise it is 20-foot cube. So does that mean I can just have the alarm on all of the
Literally around both carts.
around it? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Oh, and I will designate that our group of 6 will not turn off trigger the alarm for me.
We're 5.
but yeah.
DM's not traveling with us.
Yet that's the number we're going with.
I set it up 1 just because we needed the extra space
To
for
put our
whatever
stuff,
purposes.
yeah.
I do have a question for Yadu, I would have asked this way earlier. I just remembered
Okay.
I could do this. Let me double check the ability to make sure I can. Oh my god, go away, pop up. I understand. Bum, bum. Um. Oh, okay. What kind of spell would you like to have on hand tomorrow?
One that
Spell
goes
as in when we
boom.
go to the other bar?
Spell as in something you just like to have in your back pocket from my first or second spell list.
Oh.
Healing potion.
It has to be from my spell list.
Yeah, it's got to be
Oh.
for me. So I'm thinking if somehow it gets a little culty out, having something that will make them unable to pursue us at a run. So something that obstructs the terrain or makes the terrain difficult for them, knowing that Dundon's got his boots might be really helpful.
Okay, the options available in that case would be either grease or binding ice.
Let's go with grease.
Grease
Okay.
is
As
the
it is the
word.
word.
A perennial favorite, grease.
Yeah, so after this next long rest, I'm going to mark down that you're going to have a scroll of grease that'll last either until you use it or until I take another long rest.
Okay.
Nice.
Because that's an ability I can use. I can just point my special quill at a blank piece of paper and turn it into a scroll.
Cool.
Cool.
I'm not touching the ground. Does this ability trigger anything? As it is magical in nature.
Roll percentage dice for me.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You had to say it.
Yes, I had to. I'm trying to figure out why.
Grease, I meant fireball.
While rolling, as a fan, we don't have to be at the things now because it'll, even if I'm asleep, it'll wake me up, the alarm.
Yeah, it still helps because also getting outside to sleep every now and then is nice.
98.
Oh dear.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh dear. Okay.
So this is going to be tomorrow morning. Whatever this is going to happen tomorrow morning because that's when I was going to do the thing.
Okay. Overnight is easy. Nothing happens. Everybody sleeps very soundly. This place shuts down early compared to what all you've been used to at Lithia. Lithia is sort of an around-the-clock place. This place is definitely not.
It's like New York, yeah.
They are up super early though. They're headed out so that as soon as the sun comes up, they're ready to work. You do your scroll thing,
Uh-huh.
and it seems to be fine.
All right, there you go, Yada.
Seems
Just
to
just
be
in
fine.
case.
Cool.
Seems.
I'm gonna set the alarm spell to if the carts are moved.
Okay.
So not just touch, but if they're moved as well.
Yeah, because people are going to probably touch stuff because that's what they do, but
Yeah.
we just don't
If
want them
anything's
moving our
moved,
carts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Essentially, you have a lot of time on your hands during the day because everybody takes off. Everyone's off working, doing whatever. The barkeep is relatively low key during the day. You do at one point, you do see an older person wobbling over your way. And I do mean wobbling because he's, by human standards, pretty old.
And never mind, Yadu. Only I can use the spell. I just double checked the ability again.
Well, then you have it.
Yep, I just removed it from my prep spells because I've got a scroll for it.
Yep.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, I may be kitted for combat just in case.
Fair.
Hello, old timer. How are you?
Well, I haven't had a drink yet. Let's go. And he heads straight in. He doesn't even do the introductions or anything. He's like, come on.
Right behind you. I'll follow him in.
Well, he found a kindred spirit.
Seems like someone I could chat with. My name's Yerga.
Yerga.
I'm the mayor.
Dundon. You're the mayor.
Didn't come out last night. It was late. Figured you'd still be here.
Understandable. We'll be here for a couple days. We heard payday's in a few days. Maybe somebody might be interested in some of our wares.
Oh. And he starts doing, he like does this little like finger thing. He's like,
Yeah.
actually, payday ought to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let me find my boy. Where's that boy? Where? Son of a bitch. He got away again. All right. When I find the boy, I'll let him know. We'll make sure payday happens. Y'all get stuff to sell?
We have some things.
Excellent news.
Assortment of this, assortment of that.
Just the sort of thing we need.
I'm going to wave the bartender over and ask him to provide the mayor with a little something.
Oh,
Some of the
absolutely.
good stuff.
He actually already had one in his hand. He knew. There you go.
He's got a regular, yeah.
So Mayor Yerga just sits, has a very congenial chat with you guys, asks you about where you're from, what sort of things you're selling. I mean, it's very easygoing. Is there any? Do you try to push him for any sort of thing, any sort of questions, or are you just going to let him ramble?
People rambling generally tend to give us more useful information than when we try and push it some days. I think it might be a little early to get a little into Iyadu's skill set.
Well, what I'm thinking actually is he drinking something alcoholic?
You have no idea.
Fair enough.
Trying to
So
roofie him or something?
What's that?
I said, are you trying to roofie him or something?
No, that's your job. We all know you would in a heartbeat.
I know. The roofie one is Azathan.
Wait a minute, you're right, but what do you mean?
It's not defamation of character, it's definition of character.
First of all, shush. Second of all,
So, you guys you reach a point in the conversation where he seems like he's about ready to wrap it up. Well, anything else you folks need?
Didn't seem to be as many people in here last night as I thought there would be.
Well, that'd be the old battered bone. Competition, you know. That's one of those things happens.
Upstarts?
Oh, no, they're nice folk. Machupa and Matei. Nice folk. Old couple.
I'm sorry. Did you say toupee?
Matei.
Once again, we butchered
Matei.
yet another name.
I just didn't understand it.
I swear to God, I heard toupee.
Machupa
Matei.
Machuca.
and Matei.
and Matei. Chupa and Matei.
Cool. I'm biting my tongue so hard.
He turns his head just a little bit, like looks at Elspeth and goes, "You might like her," and then just wanders away.
That's an interesting tell.
Well, either he has a finely tuned gaydar, or it's something about the hair color.
Yeah.
Or both.
Or both.
Yeah,
Now,
that's true. Both is an option.
I was going to say anything we want to do for the rest of today, because theoretically we could fast forward to tomorrow night, get that in as the final scene, and then be done.
All I'm planning on doing today, while I have what is effectively downtime, is working on potions in the cart, because I have all of my alchemy gear with me that I can actually work on the road again.
Okay,
And
so
you actually see me sewing a very nice piece of cloth into something that I'm dumping the remains of what I'm crushing into.
cool. How about this? How about let's do our next session as payday night?
That works.
All right.
We'll
Absolutely.
pick up there and the next one because we are coming up on 9 o'clock.
Okay, cool.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Let's get to the button.